Hey, what's up y'all? DK with another video, but this time I'm bringing y'all my first football video. The 2018 high school class made a major splash in basketball with guys like Zion Williamson, RJ Barrett, Nasir Little, and Bo Bull. They completely outshined their fellow football graduating class, mostly due to the one and done rule in the NCAA for the NBA. The incoming college football freshmen are very talented and exciting. With all the talk about the upcoming NFL draft, which is in 2 days from now when this video is recorded, I want to talk about the top 2 high school prospects in the nation who are already competing for the starting jobs in spring ball. Both the players are in the same class and both from Georgia, only 20 minutes away from each other, and both attending the 2 schools that lost in the NCAA playoffs to Alabama. Justin Fields attending University of Georgia, and Trevor Lawrence attending Clemson University. Trevor Lawrence was originally the clear number 1 overall quarterback and the number 1 pocket passing quarterback, and Fields was the number 1 dual threat quarterback, number 2 overall behind Trevor. However, the 2 head-to-head duels during the 2017 Elite 11 camp turned heads, and Fields was the one who shined. Both quarterbacks were assigned a grade of 101 on 247sports.com, which is higher than any other quarterback has ever received from them. However, Trevor was given the number 1 spot due to his body of work over his high school career. Regardless of who was number 1 and who was number 2, these are 2 of the best young quarterbacks we have ever seen, and they will each have their share of favoritism over the next 3 college seasons. They both just competed in their program spring games, and they both put on big time. First, I will discuss Trevor Lawrence. His senior season, Lawrence broke Deshaun Watson's record for most yards in career in Georgia history, dishing out 13,902 passing yards, 161 touchdown passes, 846 completions, and only 21 interceptions. He also started all 4 seasons, playing 56 games. He was already the number 1 quarterback going into his senior year, and in his final go, he completely shredded his competition. In only 15 games, Trevor threw for 3,290 yards, 41 passing touchdowns, and only 1 interception. Every recruiting site has him listed as a pro-style pocket passer, but he actually has the ability to tuck the ball and run if needed as well. He ran for 11 touchdowns in his whole high school career. In his senior year, he had 2 touchdown runs, one being a 64-yard touchdown run. He will always keep his eyes downfield to find the open man, but if the pocket collapses and there is no open target, he can get out in a hurry. Now let's get to college. After he beat Deshaun Watson's high school passing record, Trevor followed his footsteps to college and went to Clemson, where he is hoping to compete for the starting job day 1. And watching his spring game performance, I think he's in good shape. Let's get to those highlights. But before, I want to say I do not own rights to these highlights. I searched half the web for the highlights of the game, and all I could find were the highlight of his 1 touchdown throw. So I had to use someone else's mixtapes to show you guys all of his passes from the day. But anyways, here you go. Trevor Lawrence was 11 for 16 on that day, throwing for 122 yards and a touchdown. Trevor came out the gates firing and completed a deep bomb touchdown on his first drive. That pass set off the hype and the talk of Trevor possibly winning the quarterback position. Trevor showed great composure in the pocket and great arm strength. The energy he brings to the field is also great, and with all eyes on him, he doesn't get shy. Clemson quarterback Kelly Bryant was the first Deshaun Watson replacement, and he led the Tigers to a 12-2 record and a place in the college football playoffs, ranked 4th in the nation. However, Bryant's stats were not all that great, only throwing for 7 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. He actually ran for more touchdowns than he threw with 9 rushing touchdowns. In my opinion, that's just not a good body of work that deserves to hold the starting quarterback position for any D1 program, with talent sitting behind him. In the spring game, Kelly showed just that, as he was unable to score a single touchdown all game. He was outplayed by both Trevor Lawrence and Hunter Johnson. I think Hunter Johnson, originally Kelly's backup, is better and should be ahead of him in the depth chart, but Trevor is so talented, he may be put ahead of both. And if Clemson wants any shot at another national championship, this is not the year to experiment, and they should just put the best player on the field because of their senior class. Clemson has a ginormous upcoming senior class, graduating 36 seniors in 2019. I believe Trevor is the most talented quarterback on Clemson's roster, and if any year, this is the year to start him and run for the championship with all 36 seniors. His NFL young and older comparisons are Aaron Rodgers and Carson Wentz. Throwing 41 touchdowns and only 1 interception in his senior year is very Aaron Rodgers-like, as he rarely throws interceptions. Carson Wentz also did not turn the ball over much in his second season in the NFL. Trevor's arm strength is very impressive, and he can throw on the run just like Rodgers and Carson. He is an elite pocket passer like the two, but can also extend plays and run when needed. Since Trevor stands at 6'6", a lot of analysts compare him to Joe Flacco, and a Super Bowl winning quarterback is a nice comparison to have. However, personally, I don't think he plays the same as Joe, and his upside is way higher, and Trevor is way more athletic. I can see Trevor have a very long 12-year-plus career in the NFL as a starting quarterback. Then we can flip to the other side of town for Justin Fields. Justin is extremely gifted. In fact, he's actually a multi-sport athlete and is said to be good enough in baseball to be drafted to the MLB. But football is his main sport, and the boy is good at it. Originally, he was known as the best dual threat, being able to run as good as anyone on the field, but when he went to the Elite 11 camp, he proved he was more than a runner. He went head-to-head with Lawrence on 7-on-7s, and he dominated. Oh, and did I mention there's no running in the Elite 11? Pure passing. Fields displayed accuracy and pocket IQ as good as any other quarterback in the nation. So not only can he run like a running back if he decides to tuck it and go, but he can stand in the pocket, be patient, and find the open man downfield for entire drives at a time. Fields was ranked number 2, but his body of work isn't that polished, so he was ranked mostly off of talent. Fields missed a little under half of his senior season with a hand injury, so his stats were not complete. But in the time he was healthy, he threw for 18 touchdowns, 1,417 yards, and only 2 interceptions. His skills were enough to get the hype he has, and unlike Trevor, Fields decided to stay in his home state and go to UGA. Fields lit it up in the Georgia spring game. So let's get to those highlights now.
It's that piece, his ability as a runner, which we won't necessarily see tonight, but he is 230 pounds, I think, closer than that 221. Very talented young guy.
A check down to Prather Hudson.
I think the thing that the coaches were most impressed with.
On time on the slant to Akil Crumpton.
See, that's an RPO, so that's the defense to react to this. The offensive line's blocking run. It's not pass protection. Justin Fields sees the matchup he wants and makes a nice quick throw. That quick routes, it's run RPOs, and that's how you get your quick throws.
Wide receiver screen to Tyler Simmons. He's tripped up, but not before he crosses the 50 and gets down to the red team's 40.
Game, not quite a big a deal today.
They give him the benefit of the doubt of breaking a tackle there, and he picks up about 3 yards before.
On him. Get your hands on him. Pick six and trap. Pick six and trap. Field goal. He went two trap on him. Let's go. He went Sonic. He threw the ball over the hitch. Miko did.
I still want to go there and compete for that job.
Yeah. Well, it says a lot about the kid. First of all, in his belief system. And really, Jake Fromm did the same thing a year ago. Also, and know that if he is going to be called on, that he can help him win. But Jake Fromm is a proven guy to football games this fall, and let them get a feel for that.
Got a ripping a throw there is Justin Fields, and busting free is Akil Crumpton down the sideline with an extra gear. 3rd down and 14 becomes a first down.
Now Kirby happy with the throw and catch, probably very upset with the poor tackling. You come up, you just try to make contact, and you don't get him on the ground. That was Latavius Brendy, number 36, who wasn't able to wrap up the tackle, and it's a first down.
Ended up as a gain of 34 in all, and that's freshman to freshman is Kyrus Jackson. Pocket collapses. Good vision, though, for Fields. Flips it to the sideline to Prather Hudson for a first down.
That was pretty right there. Now, receiver is, and at the last moment, without getting any body into it, just going to flip this thing to the sideline with a little bit of a loss. Huge, but obviously you want to get a few more yards and make sure you get out of here with 3.
And there is the check down. Caught by Hudson, and that basically secures them the field goal.
Fields killed it in his first game wearing a Georgia helmet. He showed composure of a veteran and accuracy of a pro. He kept his eyes downfield and was great at finding his checkdowns and running when needed to. He showed his speed and athleticism and the ability to throw the ball deep downfield. His quarterback competition is a lot different than the comp over at Clemson, as standout quarterback Jake Fromm started for UGA in the national championship against Alabama as a true freshman, nearly beating them, but lost in overtime to Alabama's true freshman. Being that he was a freshman, he still has 2 years left till he is eligible for the NFL, so their quarterback battle is quite interesting. With Fields' superstar talent, I cannot see him sitting the bench for 2 years and only playing 1 season as a starter. Mitchell Trubisky did it in North Carolina, but he also wasn't one of the 2 greatest high school quarterback recruits of all time. I am very intrigued by what will happen if Fromm wins the job, but if Fields wins the job, I think that gives Fromm no other option but to transfer. I think he is an NFL talent, but I think Fields is a Heisman talent as a true freshman. I think he is their best option for the starting job this year. Justin's young and older pro comparisons for me are Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson. Both Fields and Watson have their names tied to the MLB, being multi-sport stars in football and baseball. And like Wilson and Watson, they all have elite scrambling ability and can all throw on the run. They have speed to beat any defensive lineman around the edge, given the right angle, and if they have enough space, they can take it the distance. They can extend plays and make something out of nothing in closing pockets. Like Watson, I think Fields will win the Heisman Trophy one of his 3 years. They all have immediate star potential at every level they play. All in all, these are 2 very talented football players, and this is just the beginning. These guys will make a household name for themselves and will be talked about for the next 3 years till they become pros and hopefully last in the league for a very long time. I wouldn't be surprised if the first and second pick of the 2021 draft was both Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. But yeah, that's about all for the young quarterback talk. I'm sure I'll get back to this come football season when they are actually playing real games, assuming they win the spot. But for now, I'm ready to shift gears for the 2018 NFL Draft. That being said, catch y'all on the next one. Peace.